Let's see.
He's sleeping this morning.
Yeah, let me just double check.
How are you? Are you so long? Hallelujah. Yes, his computer's still down there somewhere.
I'm thinking we need more to serve beside the couch. Briefcases, baby. You put a little shelf down. Yeah, my confusion. Oh, yeah, if you don't care, when you bring it with you. Okay. Yeah. All right, thank you. Hello? Okay, bye. Okay, how are you? I've been to fix the drink with caffeine.
I usually drink water in the morning, but today was not a water day.
I don't know why. That and oh, it's gonna be one of these. There and at the same time, I said,
Hey, Dave, how are you? Very much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We went down Sunday, we thought we'd be able to pull through.
Well, I tell you, I saw the Grand Slam the first inning, and it seemed like the rain was going to. And I don't know why they thought that when they had a bullpen game.
I went up yesterday.
But I just waited for some rain.
Because that innings is the greatest thing people that I've ever seen, just marvelous. But as far as the game decision.
I think because you were
Strategy, I wonder about it. Well, if you got that challenge, you did it.
Officer, this is
I thought he-
executive
I thought he-
year-long program.
Well, you got through without two, you know.
Oh, it looks good.
Great manager, great story.
You're welcome.
I'm back gonna be like Judge Love. You know what Judge Love was saying? He was somewhere, he was parked illegally. Yeah. And he said, somebody told me he was not going to start. Let me get your. Let's see. I had my boots I told you, man. I'll go. You know, I'm like my second vaccine. I was ready to breathe.
I would. I got up and I took a shower.
No, I'm gonna get there.
I took my booster Friday.
And everybody get a booster.
You get the same, did you get the same one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The only side effect I had was the shooter that I did. My arm was sore with the other one, both times. My arm hurt, and I took it Friday, and Saturday, I wore it outside all day. And Saturday, I think Saturday, but yeah, I didn't try the weather.
Judge may take a few of these deals that just have one or two first, but yeah, you can go ahead and read it too.
I like that for you.
Okay.
You can't do it, shot.
See, my problem is I sleep on my home. Right there in the box and all that, and for some reason I could sleep on that.
Yeah, she really. I'm gonna be leaving.
Well,
9 o'clock Tuesday.
Since we're not having. I'm just, I don't know, they're ready, they don't want like to hear from the motion.
brother or cousin.
Because I've got that trial starting next day. And he's gonna be in basic coming out. So I don't know if I would have made a extend it.
I just don't know, I don't know how I'm gonna make a motion day of trial and then another motion
It's
Why
too
don't
much.
we set as much as we possibly, except for people who are
into
in,
January.
in custody.
Yeah, anything out of custody is 7 days.
That works.
That way we can still wait and get here from the trial. How's he doing that? Where's he at? Yeah, I'm not too confident.
woman is cousin with sex toy goes to a stranger. And exploding crimes goes to the.
Well, they just got all kinds of these in this.
We got some little back of truth.
Yeah, that sounds like. I just don't understand.
Hey, when I worked at Walmart, in Monticello, there was a guy that simply would be stuff here. He would see when his car, fire department.
You're right. My wife well, I'm starting that, then she said my hair goes up with this.
That's what mine is.
So she just does it in there.
I think Larry might go that same part.
Your wife does yours too? Oh, you do? I don't know.
About 7 or 8 years ago, my mom went through chemo, lost her hair, so I.
Yeah,
I thought, well, you know. Whatever.
How often do you take your home?
I think about one of the.
Brad said, you just might as well withdraw your. This is Travis Lane. This is the ballroom. Jason's about right here.
Now, I didn't.
Then he gets behind your client somewhere.
I've got Nick Stewart.
I wouldn't actually, I went to that.
Because he was in the car and surveilling, so he stopped him. He was in the car.
And you can mark off on your advocacy signature, but
It doesn't matter when you commit it. Yeah, I can prosecute you there.
You just got $70 for them, and they make a big.
You understand?
It's not much. It might be that, probably one.
But they call it sleep. It's when you put it to this.
I don't
Because
even
they
say
have. You preserve it on the.
I go regular.
I mean, is the advocacy.
And I don't blame you for taking a risk. Well, no, we had it back here, because Jason's.
We got 3. Well, that's 3 pounds.
I know, but he still had it here when he was traveling. He was back here shooting his gun. Now, we'll have to.
All right, Boomery.
What do you have, about 19?
Oh, we bring Boomery. Motion, please. We probably. If you leave.
That's a lot less. On me. It'll be a while, probably. Jason was a stranger.
Probably one of the last ones.
Saying that. Do you want to see about the grocery? Get this conversation. You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
He told me that the girls be on her Facebook page. Thought she was catching me out of Austin. And he asked me if I sang that. And I was like, yeah, I just that's all. He's actually confessed to Megan.
I didn't really ask him about my personal. We're talking asking about the war.
You want your personal?
I just pull all the way down.
Oh, yeah.
You're making blush now.
Take that compliment.
Well, yeah.
The haircut, $15.
Wow. What you say, Bill?
I got a haircut last week. So, normally I do it myself, my brother's way.
Brad, I know I'm not ready since I do it. Oh, got several pleas. That's 48 people on the docket.
What about now?
That's, I'm interested. Yes, how many cases was it? 25.
Did Rachel come back in?
Yeah, they don't understand how
Can you opt out?
Yeah.
I thought I was looking by her.
Oh,
We don't have beer down there.
Just turn it up.
What about staying back in law school classmates, just talking here and crush on.
He's around.
Yeah,
Trying to think.
I mean, I didn't know it.
We had like pictures, like we did pictures for the school brochure together and everything. And we were like looking at books in the library together.
Maybe that's what.
We did it for community service hours.
I had, when I transferred to Chase, I was one of those ambassadors or whatever, didn't get to.
They ended up having, you could turn in knitted squares and they were making blankets for the homeless. And you got like so many hours for each one. Well, my grandma, all she does is sits at home and knits. So she knitted like every single hour for me for my community service in law school.
Whatever. I remember one time I bought my own for it.
I can't remember which professor it was, but she was like, "You want to come to our knitting circle? You're doing such a good job." I had no idea how to knit.
I don't need it for it. It's just- This, he got fired, whatever, Kevin, the guy who's doing the house for him, was there separate ways. Country law. So, there's no about guy in there. And that, basically, they settled, go about now they're trying to find it. Yeah, everything ain't got.
Okay. He got continued. His attorney couldn't meet him. So we didn't agree to continue his case. So he's yeah, she was the one that had several. Her grandma's in surgery.
I'm thinking that, anyway, I didn't like it.
You can go to one of these, I'll take one of the rooms.
I did not say his last comment.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't tell him you showed me.
I'll keep it.
Hey, morning, morning.
What else is it? Not much, I'm all right. I'm doing all right. Not ready yet. Yeah, I'll try. Yeah. I hadn't seen it. I think I saw it.
All right.
We'll bring it out later.
Hey, I know who you're at. Hey. Hey, Jesse, you know what? If I don't see one, we'll see the other thing. Might not look super.
It's September 11th, 2018, that's 12. All I know is Dr. Shirley, Charlie's crying. It's crying. It's all up, like, I don't know whether oh, you're not gonna stay?
Okay. Listen there.
You go down there, I'm on.
All rise. Next first courthouse session, make sure you have all on salt, now you're ready for more salt first. Thank you, may be seated.
I guess I was on time, so shocked you. We gotta sit down.
No, he never told me. I knew you talked. I don't know how long and we maybe sit here for 20 minutes. If it only takes. Maybe we could do all the jails. Say at 9 o'clock. I'm just saying, see, but it's hard to get one.
Let's go off the record, go off the record just for a second.
It's hard to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hard for them to
Starting at time, so in each jail was separate. Except for Clinton County, because we only have like 32, 9. So you can get through those. And out easily. Have adequate children. How many inmates are in each room?
give us a second here. Just combine. Yeah, if we want to go to Derek, we're.
Showing everybody. I can go on spectator. I don't want to. We hope the next time they'll saw this day, it'll be real fast.
Where's the person that we need to use for the suppression? Is that officer?
Yeah, I think so.
The person's in there?
Yes. It's the very first one on the door.
Okay, let's go to Adair County. Adair County. Commonwealth versus Shane Capps. Adair County on the line. Okay, this is Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Shane Capps, 21 CR 001. Are you Shane Capps? Somebody needs to turn the mic on at the Adair County Jail. Adair County Jail. Okay, everybody that's not, his case is not called needs to turn your camera off. Russell County, you need to turn your camera off for a second. I'll be Adair County Jail.
Could y'all check and see if the Adair County Jail is going to be available for chain caps? We'll go to the Pulaski County Jail. Pulaski's not on. Pulaski, are you on? Russell County? Russell County Jail. Just need to watch for Taylor County. Okay, we need Amy Angel, please.
All righty, we'll get them out for you, Judge.
I'm right here.
You what? Okay, we'll come back to you, Miss Angel. They're getting your plea papers ready, okay?
Thank you.
Ronald Daniel.
They're bringing him right now, Judge.
Hey, Greg, you want to get a mandatory?
They don't have him up here yet. Do you want to go back and see if Mr. Shuffett will let you use his portal back there? He's right over, he's over here, I think. Okay, while we're on the record here, we have a shortage of grand jurors. I'm going to draw them for 51.
I hate to keep that.
Caitlin Gross, K-A-I-T-L-Y, Caitlin.
Number 59.
Danny Huffman.
Number 22.
Eddie Bulavinci.
He has private counsel, bro.
B-E-N-C-H-A-I.
And the ordinance.
Let's get us two more.
Okay.
What happened next time?
79.
Donna Ott, O-T-T.
45.
Donna Flowers.
Okay, Commonwealth Kentucky versus Rondell Daniel, 21 CR, thank you. 21 CR 0033. Are you Ronald Daniel?
Sir.
Are you Ronald Daniel?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're here today for the purpose of sentencing. Have you had an opportunity to look at the pre-sentence investigation report done by probation and parole?
Yes, sir.
Is it substantially correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there any reason why this gentleman should not be sentenced today? Counselor? Your microphone must not be on. I can't hear you. You need to come back out into court here. The microphone's not working back there. Is there any reason why this gentleman should not be sentenced today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Upon a plea of guilty in indictment number 21 CR 0033 for the charge of possession of controlled substance, first degree, defendant shall receive a sentence of 1 year, 1.5 years. Upon a plea of guilty under indictment 21 CR 00101 for the charge of trafficking controlled substance, he shall receive a sentence of 6 years. The 1 year, 1.5 year indictment, the 1.5 year sentence under 0033 and the 6 year sentence in 101 shall run consecutively for a total of 7.5 years to serve. The defendant shall serve 180 days. And at that time, a motion for shock probation has been agreed to, subject to no intervening, and the defendant will go to the Clinton County Specialty Court. He shall forfeit $132. And what's the court cost in this? What? $155 court costs, and I'll give you some time to pay that. The first payment will be due 30 days after you're out of jail at $30 a month until you get $155 paid, okay?
Client asked me to request that the balance of that 180 days be permitted to be on home incarceration.
I don't see.
That's not the agreement, Your Honor.
Okay, well, we're not gonna do that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Just as soon as you get eligible, they'll come over and interview you for the drug court and try to vote you in. So we'll get you in drug court as soon as 180 days is up, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, I've got a job and I'd be willing to go ahead and try to get drug court and everything if you let me do the rest of this on.
You got to serve 180 days.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you very much. Amy Angel, are you up there? Are you up there with Amy Angel yet? Commonwealth versus Amy Angel, 21 CR 0037. Are you Amy Angel? Do y'all have her paperwork done yet?
No, Your Honor, we just started on it this morning. If we can pass her toward the end, we can.
Okay, your paperwork is done, Miss Angel. They're going to send it up to the jail for you to look at, okay?
All right, thank you.
Amanda Jewell.
Give me plenty of time. What? Oh, did?
Amanda Jewell. Commonwealth Kentucky versus Amanda Jewell, 21 CR 0075. Are you Amanda Jewell?
To the jail for her.
No, it's not her
Amanda
business down those lines, and I will.
Mr. Stockton, thank you. Are you Amanda Jewell? You have to speak up, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're here today for sentencing. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You had an opportunity to look at the pre-sentence investigation report done by probation and parole.
Yes.
Is it substantially correct?
Yes.
Is there any reason why this lady should not be sentenced state counsel? On plea of guilty to trafficking and controlled substance, first degree, first offense, defendant shall receive a sentence of 7.5 years. The defendant shall serve 109 days in jail. The police will serve an additional 71 days for a total of 180 days. She shall receive credit for time served once the defendant has served the additional days in jail subsequent to final sentence. The Commonwealth will agree to shock probation supervised. Defendant shall credit for time served. Shall pay $155. And I'll let you pay that starting 30 days from today, $30 a month. Now, let me ask you about this shock probation. The shock probation is not more than 30, but less. So she gets her 30 days, and at 35 days will have to be 35 days from today.
Yeah, it has to be at least 30 days subsequent.
Yeah, from today.
Yeah.
If you remember, this plea paperwork was worked out for September. She now has 164 days in. So she'll get to that 180 before she's eligible for shock.
Oh, that's
I would
right.
ask the court to just allow her to be released, put on probation, have 180 days.
I don't think I can do that.
As long as it's at least 30 days after today.
And it won't be.
Well, this can be treated as an alternative sentence like we do on any case. case, we're gonna release it, but they start to put it through time. I talked with Jesse about this, that because we didn't get it in the month, we thought.
I'll be willing if y'all reach an agreement to take a look at it, but I can't make it shock probation. It'll have to be something else.
So then we can't censor today, is the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember talking about this, and I very well may have, but all these things come up in court, like Ronald Daniels wanting his probated after we make these agreements. And if we can't go with the agreements, I'm just gonna quit making agreements.
Well, you can bring it back up at some juncture, but I think the best thing for the defendant is to go ahead and take the shock probation. So.
I mean, yes, I wanted these things today, but
Well, my hands are tied. If the deal is shock probation, I've got to wait 30 days from today, and that's where I am. Okay. Okay.
And if she
thank
don't
you, young
like
lady.
that, she can withdraw her plea and we'll set a trial date. I mean, that's what I'm.
Commonwealth versus William Purdue.
Miss Simmons, you probably got shot for that.
Commonwealth versus William Purdue. Are you William Purdue?
Yes, sir.
You're there for a revocation hearing. What's the
Your Honor, he
Commonwealth
also has an arraignment that should be scheduled.
have? Okay. Maybe it's not on the docket, but we'll do it if it's sitting there.
Well, I can go ahead with the revocation, or we can do the arraignment and set a settlement date and see if we can wrap everything up, whatever Mr. Sheffield prefers.
Well, let's go ahead and get, let's go ahead and get the arraignment. Have you received a copy of this indictment yet?
no.
Okay, we'll send over for it. Commonwealth Kentucky versus William Russell Purdue. I don't know the number on it yet. Thank you very much. Twenty-one CR 00109, Commonwealth Kentucky versus William Purdue. Mr. Purdue, you're here for the purpose of arraignment and for your other charges we'll address in a minute. Do you have a right to remain silent on arraignment? Your attorney, Mr. Sheffield, is present in the courtroom. He can see you. If at any time you want to stop the proceeding and talk to him, I can make arrangements for you to do that, but this is just an arraignment right now. The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging William Purdue with possession of a controlled substance in the first degree. Mr. Purdue, do you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Counselor, do you acknowledge your seat, indictment, identity, your client, waive formal reading and arraignment, enter plea of not guilty, reserving all pretrial motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now we have a revocation hearing. Sign a reciprocal discovery order. I don't have, there's nothing.
You ready on that one in case we need to go?
A reciprocal discovery order in that case that I just did the arraignment on,
They are.
which means Mr. Purdue, they'll give you all the information they have. Let's go back to 15 CR 000.
Violations of this new charge.
Not going to treatment.
Revocation hearing. Mr. Stockton, what do you have?
Your Honor, he's on for revocation because he didn't go to treatment, then he's got this new possession charge. So if you want us to proceed with revocation, Mr. Payne can testify.
Okay.
Your Honor, would the court consider a warrant to set this for a pretrial?
Mr.
Sheffield wants to set it for a pretrial to see if he can do a universal on it.
I have no objection. Mr. Payne says he has a pen on him, so he's on an alternative sentence right now. So we can set him for December the 2nd and the 13th.
Where am I? Court dates.
It's not the second, though, it's the- remove it to the 13th. I'll make it.
Do you have it's the 13th.
Yeah,
Do you have a negotiation day set up?
yes, Your Honor. It's December the 2nd, 9 o'clock.
You want him included on that date?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Purdue, you will be available on December the 2nd for negotiation and December the 13th for your next court date.
All right, thanks, sir.
Commonwealth versus Nick Posey. Are you Nick Posey?
Yes, Your Honor.
21 CR 00104. You're here for a pretrial conference. What do we have here?
Jesse and I talked about this, and Mr. Stockton extended an offer that included probation after the service of 15 days. Jesse, I didn't realize this when we were talking, that Nick is still a state inmate.
Okay. Well, let's just set him on December the 2nd then.
According to his time sheet, he still has about 10 months left on his state sentence.
Okay, there'll be a negotiation on December 2nd, and the next court appearance is December 13th. And Mr. Posey will have you transported over for the negotiation. And then you'll
Yes, sir.
probably do this, if you're still incarcerated, you'll do the Zoom on December 13th, okay?
All right, let's come back to court on that day, Your Honor.
Pardon?
Let's come back to court December 13th on this.
December 13th, but we'll bring you over on December the 2nd for you to meet with your lawyer and negotiate to see if you can wrap all this up, okay?
All right, appreciate it, Your Honor.
Okay. We don't have the papers on Amy Angel yet. Does she have them up there? Has she looked at
They've
them?
been sent, I think.
Okay, Adair County, they've sent the papers up there, and Amy Angel appears to be the last one we've got with you. So once she has signed those and you send them back down here, we'll call her up so y'all can turn the tube off, okay?
All righty, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do we have any of the other correctional institutions on there except for Clinton County?
We have a Rotor Correctional Complex.
Rotor, okay. Okay, we'll go to Rotor then. Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Richard Lee Guthrie. Are you Richard Lee Guthrie?
Yes.
You're here in Clinton Circuit Court today on 21 CR 00031. I'm going to appoint the Office of Public Advocacy.
Judge,
Yeah.
I believe Lee Wittenberg has made his entry appearance in this matter. I've seen him as something going on.
Well, for the purpose of arraignment, the Office of Public Advocacy will stand in for arraignment. Lee Wittenberg, your attorney, was sent a Zoom link and he doesn't appear to be here or online, okay? So this is just arraignment. The grand jury, you have the right to remain silent, sir. The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging you with reckless driving, improper registration plate, obscuring the identity of a machine, receiving stolen property, being a persistent felony offender, 2 counts. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say can be used against you. Counselor, do you acknowledge the identity of Mr. Guthrie received for a purpose of arraignment only, a copy of the indictment? That was a docket sheet, I'm sorry. I didn't have the indictment to hand over there. Where is the indictment? Acknowledge receipt of the indictments. Enter plea of not guilty, reserving all pre-trial motions. Now, I'm signing a reciprocal discovery order, Mr. Guthrie, and the discovery will be sent to your attorney. And I'll find out today why he wasn't here. And he'll need to contact you to see if he plans on representing you and whether he can be here in a timely manner in the court. That's between me and him as far as whether he's here in a timely manner. I'll take care of that. So we're glad he could make it. Your attorney is in the courthouse, is outside now, so he'll be in contact with you. Thank you.
All right.
Now, does that finish us at Roder?
Yes.
Thank y'all very much for your cooperation, Roder, and you can sign out as far as we're concerned.
Judge Wayne County called and said that their entrepreneur caught bar. They have no internet to log on to get on to see.
How many people we have in Wayne County? I guess we'll need to do a transportation order. Commonwealth Attorney's office and the defense counsels be on notice. I'm gonna call 4 cases from Wayne County and see if we need to do anything on them. Benjamin Claywell. Aiken. Jonathan Ray.
There'll be a plea on that case, but he has to serve some time, so it may not.
Okay, what about Benjamin Claywell?
He should be released. We signed a agreed bond.
So really, we only have one person that we need to transport. I just went over them. Let's go over them again. So, okay, I guess you were in between. Okay, Benjamin Claywell.
He's still incarcerated. We just need a negotiation. If we can discuss this case just for a second. The order was entered saying that the district court bond that was posted can stand for this bond. I think the way it's done in court will be sound. Sure, that's sound. So they got to redo the bond.
The only thing I'm interested in is whether we need to go send for him and transport him. That's why I'm going through this list. I really don't want to discuss the cases outside the prisons.
I'm okay with that.
This order was supposed to have been signed last month. I didn't have access to printers and to the clerks to have it printed. It didn't happen. It didn't get signed. It wasn't brought to my attention until this week. By Mr.
Yeah, only thing, yeah.
And we signed the order and sent it earlier this week.
Does he need to be transported today? Okay, the answer is no. Okay. And that was, he had 2 cases. Now. He has 2 cases. Okay, now we got April Payton. Okay. And then we need Joseph Payton. Okay, and then, well, you know, I don't know whether they'll put all of them in the same car or not. You see what? One of them is a female, and I don't know whether they put them in the same car. It's what y'all want to do. We'll accommodate what needs to be done. The sheriff's office already. We can do that. And then we got, Jonathan Ray.
That's going to be a plea as well. He does have to, I do have
Okay, so really the only one that we would have to have before the December 13th date is the female, April Payton. So if y'all can provide me a transportation order and contact the jail over there, if they'd have told us a little earlier. You know, but we'll just keep it rolling. Can y'all get somebody ready to go over and get her? Okay. Yeah. Okay, what other correctional institution? Mr. Whittenberg, your client's already been taken care of. Evidently, you called the clerk's office and said that you were going to be late, but nobody informed us of that, okay? Well, it's not your fault, okay? Sometimes people are late. So that's a sufficient explanation for me. And do you have any other business here today? Okay, well, we get for the purpose of arraignment that they set in, and that's a reciprocal discovery order. And I told your client that I'd be talking to you when you got here, and you need to contact him, okay? Okay, you're excused. Yeah. Is that Taylor County on the line there, or is it Adair County? It looks like it might be Adair County.
This is Adair County.
Adair County, let's go to Adair County. Commonwealth versus Shane Capps. Are you Shane Capps?
Yes.
Mr. Capps, this is 21 CR 0001. You're here on a revocation hearing. Your attorney in this case is present in the courtroom and can see you. If you have any need to talk to him at any time, you just tell me that and we'll make arrangements for that, okay? Mr. Stockton, it's a revocation hearing. You need to turn your microphone on.
It's a motion to revoke. Mr. Capps has 2 possession charges. He's been supervised by Miss Beckwith, I think in Hardin County. He has a new felony arrest, which he got new misdemeanor convictions, and he also tested positive for methamphetamines, and we're asking for a hearing.
Your Honor, Mr. Capps would stipulate to the fact that he was charged and did plead guilty to some of the misdemeanor charges.
What did he plead guilty to?
I believe it was possession of marijuana and possession of controlled substance.
Okay. Okay, well, that's enough for me. Mr. Capps, would you like to make a statement?
No, sir.
You don't want to?
No, sir.
Okay, he doesn't want to make a statement. Okay, well, we'll revoke, and Officer Beckwith, thank you for your appearance today. Now, the next case is Candy Stuber. Candy Stuber. This is 21 CR 0025. Ms. Stuber, what's your year of birth?
9/25 of 89.
Last 4 digits of your social security number.
4789.
And we're here on a pretrial conference.
Your Honor, she's going to be arraigned in Cumberland County on a new felony charge, trafficking. So I guess on the next motion day, if we could have the pretrial conference on December the 2nd, and when we're in Cumberland County, we'll address whether we want to transfer that case over here or not. That's my intention as well.
So what the Cumberland, what's the next Cumberland County court?
I think it's the 18th.
Pardon?
I think it's November the 18th or 16th. I can't remember.
You just want to have this over here on that day?
Yeah, I want to have, well, we're going to be in Cumberland County on that date, so I'd like to arraign her in Cumberland County, and if she agrees to transfer that case over here, we can have both cases here. And then we can have the pretrial on December the 2nd. I mean, the negotiation day on December the 2nd. on both cases.
Okay. Okay, you'll be next here in this court on December 2nd for negotiation, and December 13th is your next court date. Your Cumberland County appearance, I guess, will be in November, and if you can reach some resolution, we can always transfer one place or the other to see if there's any plea or set trial. Next case is Commonwealth versus Jonathan Stuber. Commonwealth versus Jonathan Stuber, 21 CR 00024. Are you Jonathan Stuber?
Yes, sir.
You born in 1988?
Absolutely.
You're here for a pretrial conference. What does the Commonwealth have to say about this?
It's the same scenario, Your Honor. They're co-defendants. He has a new felony charge in Cumberland County that he'll be arraigned on the 18th. So we'd ask for December the 2nd and 13th.
Okay, we'll have a negotiation on this case December the 2nd, and your next court date here will be December 13th. Mr. Stuber, I guess you were in the room that heard the explanation that the indictment will be returned over in Cumberland County in November, so that way you'll have an opportunity to negotiate both cases together on the 2nd, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, okay, does that complete what we have in Adair County?
I believe so.
Okay, well, thank y'all for your cooperation. Be excused. And we have is Taylor County on the line? Pulaski County, are you on the line? Somebody contacted them to see if they're going to be available. Let's go to Clinton County Jail. Commonwealth versus Billy Dean Eminette.
Billy D. Billy.
Russell County, you want to flip your camera off till we call you back? We'll get you back up. Commonwealth versus Billy Dean Aminette, 21 CR 0085. Are you Billy Dean Aminette?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you're here today for a pretrial conference.
Yes.
You just sit down.
Okay.
What's the Commonwealth have to say?
And we've tendered an offer on this case to him and
Okay,
his co-defendant.
Okay, it's Pulaski County. Okay, Pulaski County, will you turn your camera off just for a second, and we'll come to you on the next case, okay? Mr. Stockton, what do you have to say about Billy Dean Eminette?
We've tendered an offer in this case, and I'm waiting to hear back from Mr. Sheffett and Mr. Eminette on what they want to do.
Your Honor, Mr. Eminette is in principle, doesn't disagree with the offer, but it's
Well, what do you want to do today here?
for today, we don't have an agreement today.
Okay, well, the problem that I have is that, you know, this is not a complicated case. He either did it or didn't do it. If he doesn't have a defense, I really am going to be in a situation where we just set a trial date on him and try him. I don't understand. I'm sorry he has health problems, but that's neither here nor there to his charge.
I think there is some nuance.
Well, if he didn't do it, he only stands accused now. Okay, Mr. Stockton, you got your trial schedule?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. You want to bring the grand jurors around, if you'll stand back there. Y'all come around here. Ladies, thank y'all for coming on short notice. If you'll raise your right hands, please. You solemnly swear or affirm that you will conduct your duties as members of the grand jury of the Clinton Circuit Court, that you will consider all matters brought before you in a confidential matter, that you will protect and defend the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Kentucky and the United States of America. Will you do that? Thank you very much. And follow the newly appointed clerk bailiff here. Okay, let's go to, I said, Pulaski County. You want to turn back on? Pulaski County?
Yes.
Okay, this is Commonwealth Kentucky versus Tim Kelly.
Yes.
This is
Are
Tim.
you Tim Kelly?
I am.
Okay, you were here today for a pretrial conference. We're here on two cases, 21 CR 0087 and Timothy M. Kelly, 21 CR 0053. You're the same person, Tim Kelly and Timothy Kelly.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Your
Mr.
Honor,
Garman,
oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
He
Mr.
has
Stockton.
new indictments in Wayne Circuit Court of trafficking. He has a federal indictment, I think some type of mail fraud. I don't know if he's being held on our bond or not. I don't care to set him from trial way on out, but I've got all the victims in this case are out-of-state defendants that come down to the lake that own boats. And so I'm willing to wait a little while to continue this one, see what happens in those other cases.
Okay, what do you have to say, Mr.
I
Garman?
believe Mr. Ramsey filed a motion to withdraw from this case, based on the fact that we had the case worked out and a deal in place, restitution to be paid.
You're gonna have to speak up because he can't hear you.
We had a deal worked out on the case, restitution to be paid by a certain date, the case was all done with, we were gonna go with the final sentencing, and the restitution was not paid. So our income, or we've lost communication.
Well, he's in the Pulaski County Jail if you want to communicate with him.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to pay restitution for a while, if ever, depending on what happens in his federal case. And I'm willing to wait and see a little while. And I've talked to the victims about this
Well,
case.
what Mr. Garman has to say is they want out of the case because
I have no objection.
Agreement they had. Now, Mr. Kelly, do you have counsel appointed in your federal case?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, do you have any objection to letting Ramsey and Garman out of your case here?
I don't.
Okay. So I'll sign the order relieving them, and we'll set the next appearance here will be February the 11th. And that'll get you time possibly to work your other situations out. And then Mr. Stockton, Commonwealth attorney here, will be in contact with any other state or federal prosecutors about this by then.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I will appoint Mr. Shuffett here as the public defender to take over your case here.
Okay, what's his name?
Brad Shuffett. Mr. Brad Shuffett, from the Office of Public Advocacy. He'll take over your case here so he can contact your defense lawyers up there. That way you'll have communication between this case here and there.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We have something else in class.
What's your name?
Richard Smith.
Richard Smith, Judge.
Gosh. Commonwealth versus Richard Smith, 18 CR 0061. Are you Richard Smith?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're here on a probation revocation hearing. What does the Commonwealth have to say?
Your Honor, Mr. Smith was probated on a DUI fourth offense after he served his split sentence, and for 5 years. He has a 5-year sentence. He was supposed to be indicted last month on a burglary second, but the officer was unavailable. So we're presenting that case to the Clinton County Grand Jury today. During that offense, he admitted that he used Xanax and didn't know what he was doing. But we can proceed today, or if they prefer, we can put in a pen. And there's already a pen available, and wait till he's indicted and try to get a global resolution on both cases.
Yeah, let's put a pin on then and schedule him for. You want him here on the 2nd for negotiation?
That'd be fine, Your Honor. We can go
December
ahead.
2nd for negotiation and next court date, December 13th. I'm having a hard time. Is there anything else in Pulaski County? Pulaski County, thank you for your cooperation. And your attorney will be in contact with you, sir, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Is Taylor County on yet?
Is she ready?
Let's go back to Clinton County.
When's my court date you're on?
And we're finished with Pulaski County. Thank you. Thank you, Pulaski County. Let's go back to Billy Dean Amonette. You say we're not finished with Billy Dean Amonette. Yeah.
Judge, that's all we have for Pulaski.
Thank you for your cooperation.
I'm trying to do 2 courts. I'm running in between.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
What do we have in December? What kind of trial do we have set on December 14th and 15th?
That's the child abuse case.
It will be tried. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then Clinton trial on the December 20th. What is that?
That's, that should know that Mr. Cross is trying to make a civil case out of these requested records back in 2015. I haven't decided whether I'm going to object to that being over the trial or not.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. It's not on the docket today. So. Okay. What about the 28th of December? Well,
We had a trial scheduled that time. We had issues with witnesses and everything between Christmas.
well, I don't either. I hate to sit it, we got a case that a person either did something or didn't do something, and citizens are gonna have to pay for him. So I want to get him sometime. Help me find it.
January 10th, those people were out on bond.
What is it? What is it, that case?
Johnny and Missy Stevens on the latest construction of the home. Finished on the home, they're out on loans.
Well, that's probably a 1-day trial. Yeah, so let's. Well, let's just double schedule this. And we've got it right now for the 10th and the 11th. We can start one of them, we finish it, we can take the other one.
We already have another one set on the 11th and 12th.
That's
And
the
a
same
third one
case.
set on the 12th.
That's the same type of case, they're all out on the home.
This one
Yeah,
starts,
I see this one here. I didn't have it on the 11th. I had it on the 12th.
Stevens goes the 10th and 11th, Coca Whitehead goes the 11th and 12th, and then Clifton starts on the 12th.
See, I don't have this on there. Set this one on. One of them I don't have.
Oh, no, you got them in there.
Yeah, so straighten that up for me. Well, there's not. Is that in June?
Yeah.
When did the notification? Yeah.
I will say this, there's a customer on one of these cases. I believe I'm seeing one of my try first. And honestly, I'm a little bit late getting involved. Misunderstood where he was.
Who we talking about now? Eminent, Billy Dean Eminent?
And we essentially have the same law about in those cases. I really feel like, by December, we'll have a firm answer. I feel like there's a good chance it will be a play.
Okay, let's go back and get Billy Dean Eminent and Bobby Joe Eminent. The co-defendants, is that correct?
Hello,
Okay, is this Billy Dean Eminent?
no, this is Bobby Joe Eminent.
Oh, Bucky, Bobby Joe Eminent, your next court day is December the 13th. We have a negotiation on December 2nd. And on Billy Dean Eminent, the same thing, a negotiation date on December 2nd, the next court date on December 13th, okay? Thank you very much. Josh Davis. Are we ready on that Russell County case that you have left? That she had the papers. Okay. Russell County, have you sent the paperwork back on Miss Angel? Russell County, have you sent the paperwork back on Miss Angel? Your microphone's off, ma'am.
Yes, sir, we have sent it back.
You said to the circuit clerk's office?
Pamela Moore,
Where did you send them to?
Pamela Moore is who she sent it to.
Is that you?
It was sent to her attorney.
Your Honor,
No,
she requested it for me, send it to Pamela Moore at kycourts.com.
We don't have a person like that. Pam Elmore, Pam Elmore.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, could you go over there and check to see if she has it? We'll go over there and check and see if the paperwork's there. We'll try to get through this as soon as we can for you, okay?
Okay.
We'll go back to Josh Davis in Clinton County. Josh Davis. Cromwell versus Josh Davis, 21 CR 0040. Are you Josh Davis?
Yes, sir.
We're here for a pretrial conference.
Your Honor, Mr. Shepard, Mr. Stevens represents Josh Davis. Mr. Shepard represents co-defendant Rodney Manus. Mr. Manus has been on the run. He's now back in custody. I would like to have a pretrial to discuss both cases, both counts on the co-defendant and investigation of the trial.
Okay, December 13th is the next date, and negotiation date on December the 2nd. Okay, there, your co-defendant is in custody now, Mr. Davis, so we'll have a discussion date, negotiation date on December 2nd. Your next pretrial will be on December 13th, okay?
Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you very much. Matthew Denny. Matthew Denny. Commonwealth versus Matthew Denny, 21s, both, 21 CR 0055, 20 CR 0047, 20 CR 0076, 21 CR 0056. Okay, we're here today for sentencing.
We are, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Denny, have you had an opportunity to look at the pre-sentence investigation report done by probation and parole?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Are they substantially correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And Mr. Carroll, is there any reason this gentleman should not be sentenced today? On a plea of guilty to 20 CR 0047, for receiving stolen property, the defendant shall receive 5 years. On a plea of guilty to theft, unlawful taking, the defendant shall receive 5 years. On a plea of guilty to burglary third, he shall receive a sentence of 5 years. All 5-year sentences under this indictment shall run concurrently for a total of 5 years. On a plea of guilty in 21 CR 0055, to charge of burglary, the defendant shall receive 5 years. On the plea of guilty to theft of unlawful takeover 500, he shall receive 5 years. 2 5-year sentences in this indictment shall run concurrently for a total of 5 years. On the plea of guilty in 20 CR 0076, in charge of burglary third degree, the defendant shall receive a sentence of 5 years. On the plea of guilty in 21 CR 0056 for a charge of burglary third degree, the defendant shall receive a sentence of 2 years. The 5-year sentence in 0047, the 5-year sentence in 0055, and the 2-year sentence in 0056 shall run consecutive, a total of 12 years. 12 years shall run concurrently with 5-year sentence, 20 CR 007, for a total of 12 years. Serve 6 months in jail, plus an additional 5 months on in-home incarceration. The balance probated for 5 years supervised. While on in-home incarceration, defendants shall be permitted to obtain a day shift job, attend church, travel to the doctor's office. Regardless of the defendant's employment, he shall remain at his residence from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Defendant shall pay restitution in full prior to sentencing. Has that been done?
It's been paid, as I understand it, Judge.
The clerk's office acknowledges it's been paid. Subject to restitution, no contact with any victim or victims' families or real property in above style cases. What's the court cost? Court cost should be $155. I'll give you some time to pay that. You can start paying it at $50 a month, 30 days after your release. Okay? Okay, well, I'll sign is that, you acknowledge that, Mr. Stockton?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I'll sign the release.
He can't be released of it assume until he's hooked up on the ankle.
Yeah.
Right. 'Cause
Is there an
Mr.
ankle
Sir-
monitor on?
Judge, I've been asked to request that the way the ankle,
Well, you need to,
It's part of the plea.
it's part of the plea agreement.
way the cost of the ankle bracelet because of his, not, this, at least at this point, he doesn't have a job and doesn't have anybody to pay except for his children. That's an affidavit of it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, he's cost Clinton County enough.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you.
Judge, I have a really order about this. Open case, to get the medical records. So Jesse has a motion.
Mr. Denny, you need to make arrangements to get your ankle bracelet on. As soon as you do that, I'll sign it. You can leave the jail, okay?
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Jesse has a motion on some additional materials that we have no objection to that.
Mr. Poindexter had to leave for another court, but he was in agreement with the agreed order.
I'm submitting an order in 19, signing an order in 19 CR 0049. If we get to that later. Okay, we're ready for Mr. Fluter. Commonwealth versus Emmanuel Fluter, 19 CR 005, 21 CR 0099.
We have received all the records from KCPC, Your Honor. We have to go through those. I'm willing to go ahead and set another trial date if the court is, but it needs to be put out maybe for February or March, so we'll have time to prepare. I do have one motion that I need to file before we have the trial date.
Well, it might be by, you could get an agreed order on it. What is the motion?
I doubt it. It's, there's a new Supreme Court case out on a Huber case out of Northern Kentucky where there was a trial. There was a lot of pretrial publicity. The case was, it went up, it was remanded. They had to try it again. It sets out all the factors about change of venue. And I, honestly, Your Honor, I just don't believe there's been enough publicity here to justify moving this trial based on that new Supreme Court case. And I'd be asking the court to reconsider the venue question.
And Judge, I think that he will have to file a motion. We would have a hearing regarding that. I think Mr. Stockton's correct on that.
Is there any need to set another negotiation date on this?
I don't see any need because I've made offers and they've never responded, even agreed to the offer that was agreed to at mediation and it was rejected. So I don't see any need to.
But Judge, it was made a few months. Is what Judge, I'm happy to meet with Mr. Fluter and notify the court if I think that is something.
Tell me about, there was an agreement in the mediation. Is that correct?
Well, there wasn't an agreement, but I went down to their position in the mediation and it was.
It was a few months after the mediation, Your Honor. I'm content if the court wants us to do so. I'm happy to do so. I'm happy to meet with Mr.
But there's no reason just to meet for the heck of it. He says, the Commonwealth says that they came down to your position at the mediation. Is that correct?
A few months afterwards, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you're not willing to accept what your position presented at mediation was?
Right now, Mr. Fluter is not. I'm happy to continue to have conversations regarding that, Your Honor.
Well, I'll let y'all schedule whatever you want to as far as meeting. And I'm gonna let y'all have one more swipe at it, because if we're going to set a trial date, it'll be out several months anyway, January, February, and March. So y'all get together on December, would you rather have it on whenever you want to before December 13th? I won't schedule it on the 2nd. Would you like it on the 2nd, Mr. Stockton?
No, that's fine. We can just do the
December
13th.
The next court date. For
That'll
Mr.
give me an
Floyd.
opportunity to file my motion.
Sherman Hensley. Sherman Hensley.
Chairman.
I guess I'll go back to Russell. Going back to Russell County on the next case, Commonwealth versus Sherman Ray Hensley, 21 CR 0027 and 21 CR 0038.
The sheriff's office informed me that they have about 4 that they're waiting on it. Transport to KCPC.
Well, let's just put him off until December 13th. They're having a hard time, Mr. Hensley, getting you transported up there for your evaluation. As soon as we can get you transported up there, they will, okay?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. I envy you. Commonwealth versus Ricky Jones.
Morning.
This is Commonwealth versus Ricky Jones, 21 CR 0032, for the purpose of a pretrial and an arraignment in 21 CR 00108. Are you Ricky Dwayne Jones?
Yes, sir.
Born in 1980. Born in 1980.
Yes, sir.
What are the last 4 digits of your social security number?
5110.
The grand jury of Clinton County has returned an indictment charging you with possession of a controlled substance in the first degree. Counselor, do you acknowledge or see the indictment, the identity of your client, waive formal reading and arraignment, and a plea of not guilty, reserving all plea trial? Okay, now, want to set a conference date for this, Mr. Stockton?
Yes, Your Honor, if we could have the December 2nd. He has
December
2 cases.
2nd conference date. December 13th, and you did enter a plea of not guilty for your client, reserving all pretrial motions. Okay, you'll be here on December 2nd, and we'll get a transfer. We'll have him up here for negotiation purposes, and then on the 13th, you can decide what you want to do. Just speak up a little bit. What is this? What is the bond set on this individual now?
Your Honor, it's been revoked. He got new charges while he was on bond. Should be.
Okay, thank you. Gary Lattimore.
Yeah, she's out of Alaska.
Commonwealth versus Gary Lattimore. While we're waiting for Mr. Latimer, let's go back to Russell County, please. Russell County, are you on? Commonwealth versus Amy Angel in Russell County Jail. Is it a felony plea or a diversion? Wait, is it a give that back there. Is it a felony plea or a diversion? Okay, thank you. Okay, Commonwealth versus Amy Angel. Clinton County, will you turn your camera off just for a second? Will you turn your camera off? Commonwealth versus Amy Angel, 21 CR 0037. Ms. Angel, we previously identified you. Will you acknowledge your identity again? Are you Amy Angel?
Yes, sir.
Are you
Yes,
Amy
sir.
Angel? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. A motion has been filed and papers done that say you wish to enter a guilty plea today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
Is this plea freely and voluntarily given?
Yes.
Are you the same person named in indictment number 21 CR 0037?
Yes.
Is your judgment impaired today? Is your judgment impaired today? Do you know what's going on?
No. Yes, I know what's going on. It's not impaired.
Have you discussed this charge with your attorney, reviewed the evidence? You feel like you're fully informed?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with her advice?
Yes.
You have certain rights under the Kentucky and United States Constitution. Before I can accept a plea of guilty, I need to know that you fully understand those rights. You have the right not to testify against yourself. No one can make you say anything. You have a right to speedy trial by jury, right to be represented by counsel at your jury trial, a right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses called to testify against you, right to produce evidence, right to call witnesses in your favor, right to appeal this matter to higher court if you lose, and right to require the Commonwealth to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty of the charge against you. That you understand by entering a guilty plea, you give up all those rights. Now, I may consider the Commonwealth's recommendation, but I may apply any range of sentence provided by law. I do not have to accept any recommendation. Prior to accepting any recommendation, I will await the pre-sentence investigation from probation parole. In the event that I do not accept the Commonwealth's recommendation and decide to impose a harsher sentence, you have the right to withdraw your plea and proceed to trial. Mr. Stockton, will you give me the Commonwealth's recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Angel will plead guilty to trafficking in a controlled substance first degree, 7.5 years. She'll be probated for 5 years. She shall enter and complete a long-term rehab facility determined by probation parole. If they can't get her in, then DPA agrees, I think, to help and assist in that. She shall remain in custody until a bed date's available. She'll receive credit for time served. She'll pay court costs discretion of the court. Once all the co-defendants' cases are wrapped up in this, she agrees to forfeit her interest in any all contraband or any other seized items in this case.
Now, does that agreement reflect the agreement you made with the Commonwealth?
Yes.
Okay. Has anyone, including your attorney, offered you any other recommendation or threatened or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
Pleading guilty because you are guilty for no other reason?
Yes.
Knowing your constitutional rights is still your desire to waive those rights and enter this plea and allow me to fix your punishment as permitted by law.
Yes.
Do you understand that after entering a guilty plea to a felony, any future convictions that you have might be enhanced for as a penalty phase under the persistent felony offender law?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the document there in front of you? Is that your signature?
I've signed it. I don't have it right in front of me at the moment.
Okay. I'll accept the agreement, order pre-sentence investigation for it to be done by probation and parole. And we'll schedule sentencing for December the 13th, and you can file that with the court. Okay, thank you very much. Does that conclude Russell County's business? Okay, thank y'all very much, Russell County. Your excuse. Did we ever hear from Taylor County? Did we do Gary Latimer? Let's go back to Clinton County, Gary Latimer. Russell County, will you turn your camera off?
You're turning around, face the judge.
Commonwealth versus Gary Latimer, 21 CR 0091. Are you Gary Latimer? Are you Gary Latimer?
We can hear you.
Yeah, but I need to know he understands me.
No, he's another one. We're trying to get into KCPC. And I think after court, I'm gonna call and see if we can get him in pretty quick.
Okay, Mr. Latimer, his next schedule to appear on December the 13th. Thank you, Mr. Latimer.
Is it Cody Estes or Tony Smith?
No.
Commonwealth versus Rodney Manis. Yeah, I already took him up, right? Robert Lee Smith. Robert Lee Smith. Commonwealth versus Robert Lee Smith, 21 CR 0072.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This is Rodney Manis. Where?
Rodney Manis said the guy that put up a bond was off, but now that since he's been incarcerated, he wants the permission to go off his surety bond.
Which one have been issued for quite a while?
So Rodney Manis is in custody now. And the fellow that's on his bond wants to be released. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Stockton? Okay, well, I'll release the fellow. And now we got Robert Lee Smith. What is this a suppression hearing?
No,
What is this, Mr. Stockton?
Mr. Shepard's motion to dismiss based on venue.
Okay, what is your motion?
The motion is that the trooper either got behind or followed Mr. Smith down 1009, which is offshoot off of 9. Most of 1009 is in most of the road of 1009 is in Wayne County. He pulls him over at a barn, I think a sizable gravel area that is in Wayne County, and upon search, find he led to find contraband and items that he's charged with, which led to the charges that we have before the court. It's my motion today that Wayne County will be the proper venue, because most of that road, 1009.
Well, let me ask the officer a couple of questions. I think we can jump to the chase here. Officer, you'll raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony about to give us the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stockton, you care if I inquire of the trooper? Trooper, did you have Mr. Robert Lee Smith in your line of sight the entire time? That you?
Well, I was parked out next to a barn, and I was looking for Mr. Smith, because I have his lights on.
I'm talking about from the first time that you encountered him and turned your lights, and just tell me what you did. Where were you at then?
I was in front of the Jones's residence on the Wayne County side of the line when I initiated the traffic stop.
Now, did you keep your eye on him after that? Did you stop him? Did he stop anywhere and pick up anything?
He didn't stop anywhere, and those safe places right there to stop.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't the safest place that.
Okay, do you want to inquire?
Well, I would like, I think Mr.
I have no doubt that where they might have stopped him might very well be in Clinton County, but it would appear to me that if he had him in sight in Clinton County and he didn't stop anywhere or pick up anything, he, whatever was in the car was in there when he was in Clinton County.
I'd like to, Mr. Stockton has a nice map there.
I don't really care where he stopped him at. If he was in pursuit of him, that the guy was in Clinton County and he didn't stop and he was in this trooper's sight the whole way, he didn't know he handed it through the window if he had anything.
Trooper Warner, if he points out where he saw him at on the map, that would be more conclusive than him just saying.
Well, let me show a map. He says he was in Clinton County.
There's the house right here, and that's where that lawn and stop the cover incidents. That's when I pulled out, and I can see tail lights on. So that's finally able to get you through the strip. This is where I did.
That map's blown up. Makes it look like a long shine, but how far is that?
Just over one, maybe a couple miles. When it started.
This is where you first got sighted of them.
Yeah, that's when I first initiated. I can see his tail lights up there, which is his curve with Travis Raines' residence. Travis was actually watching it. I had him on the telephone. And I can see tail lights hitting this through here, then was able to get on that side, like on the curve, and was able to get the license plate and get it to initiate the traffic stop.
Okay, you have any witnesses you'd like to call, Counselor? Mr. Shuffett, ask that that be as addendum to the trooper's testimony. You have any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor. The stop occurred, I think it's not Stephen, the stop occurred in Wayne County. That's where the searches occurred.
Well, you'll acknowledge that the car didn't stop and he had it at sight from Clinton County into Wayne County, won't you?
The car stopped at one of the troopers first.
Yeah, yeah.
I think 452, 550. In both counties to drive.
I'm going to deny your motion. I think the venue is appropriate here. I don't know why you like Judge Minyard better than you do me, Counselor, but. Oh, okay. Well, I can understand. Okay. Thank you, Trooper, for your time.
Oh, wait.
Let's okay. Okay.
I'm gonna be asking for
Okay. Okay, do we have anybody else in custody? We got the Taylor County case. Okay, well, let's go to the out of custody and let's go back. We have a bailiff's help on identifying people to come up here that are in the court. Start down row and have them come up here and they can identify themselves. Sir, are you on the docket today? You want to come on up? Yeah. Commonwealth versus Tony Albertson, 21 CR 004. Are you Tony Albertson? What's your year of birth? You have to speak up like you're calling cow. Your year of birth is 1984, right? Okay. We're here today for a pretrial conference.
Your Honor, there was an order for a CPC evaluation signed. That's being got outpatient.
a negotiation date for December.
Your Honor, if we can set this one in January, that would have.
Is that okay with the Commonwealth? You have a negotiation date in January? Okay, next court date is January the 13th, and you'll need to get in contact with your attorney. There'll be one other date that you'll have to appear with him to negotiate. That's part of your bond condition too, okay?
We keep on 67.
Will you have the maintenance people to come up? The maintenance people to come up and adjust the cooler, just turn it off. Yeah. The heating, cooling.
The air is on, the air conditioner.
It's too cold in here, whatever they have to do to, I don't know whether they have to turn it off or to change the temperature or whatever. Okay, thank you. Ma'am, you come around and identify yourself. Commonwealth versus Tara Ayers. Are you Tara Ayers? This is 21 CR 0058. For pre-trial.
We've got a projection on one.
Please say January, that way they contact me and their parents need to contact me before that day.
Next court date's January the 13th. They're trying to get you conflict counsel. So have somebody go there. I'd like for her to be present with that council sometime in January for a negotiation date. Wait just a second, Mr. Shelley. We'll set it. The motion date's on the 13th. Well, Mr. Stockton, if you didn't take Christmas Day off, we could get a lot of things done here. You just-
We better do it on 22nd, on 23rd.
No, we're set for December 22nd. January.
You'll be here on December 22nd for negotiation, January 13th for your next court date. Sherry Sue Barnes. Sherry Sue Barnes. Okay, we got Taylor County here real quick. Let me do Taylor County real quick, get them out of the way.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sorry for the lateness.
Okay, Commonwealth versus Jesse Brown, 21 CR 005. What do you have?
Your Honor, I've got a motion to set the
I can't hear.
going to ask the court, of course, next purpose.
When is the trial set?
I know that he's gonna have at least 1 hour that's coming, I don't see that we can do that.
Sure, he's gonna repeat it.
This is one that, yeah, probably like that, I'm hoping we can make some.
Well, let me inform. We've had some complaints about this prisoner. He's been moved to 3 different jails, I understand, in a 24-hour period.
Well, I mean, it sounds like, I live in Texas, I wasn't even working. But I will say, maybe he had a rough 24-hour period, but I don't think there has been complaints up to that point. Mr. Brown, you know.
Well, I mean, there wasn't very many complaints about John Wilkes Booth either till he shot Lincoln. You know, I mean, what I know is he's been taken to 3 jails in 24 hours, my report, if I stand corrected, for fighting. Now, it wasn't somebody else's fault at every one of those jails. I want to try this guy. You haven't got any motions pending before me now, ex parte or any other one. Well, I wasn't aware of that, you know. Well, I'm gonna leave the trial schedule the way it is, subject to me reviewing any motions that I don't have in front of me. I don't know how I rule on the motions as far as. I'll wait and do it today with you before we leave here, because I think Commonwealth and everybody else in this defendant all need to know. But I think you, on the record, Mr. Brown, you need to conform and stay away from people in that jail there. You understand what I'm saying? Because if they have to, they can take you to a higher security place at a state institution. We're running out of jails to put you in. So if anybody starts to give you a problem, just move away from them. Don't be involved in any other activity. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, Judge, in the situation that I was in,
I don't know. No, you don't say anything about it, okay? I'm just telling you, if you got any problems.
Well, I'm telling you, when I was put in a situation.
I'm not listening to you.
Well, I'm not listening to you.
What I'm telling is.
What I'm telling you is I was put into a situation I could not get out of. I asked the jailer on several different occasions to help me.
You are in contempt of court. I'm giving you 6 months.
Fuck
you very much. Thank you, sir. Okay, you got 6 months, and you come back again, you do that again, I'll give you 6 months more. Thank you very much. Yeah, the trial is continued. No, I don't want to continue the trial. No, not yet.
I want to have my expert.
Well, I'll talk to you about your experts. I need to give every opportunity. So, okay, Sherry Sue Barnes, how boring that you're going to be here. You know, would you like to disparage, yell at the court, or make any hand signals before we? Okay. Okay, 21 CR 0036 and 21 CR 0048. Are you Sherry Sue Barnes? Okay, what's your year of birth? Okay. Okay, Ms. Barnes, I understand that you want to enter a plea today. Is that correct? Are you currently under influence or drugs, alcohol? Is this plea freely and voluntarily given? Are you the same person named in indictment number 21 CR 0036 and 21 CR 0048? Is your judgment impaired today in any way? Have you discussed this charge with your attorney? Are you satisfied with the advice of your attorney? Have you reviewed the evidence the Commonwealth has against you? This is a felony plea, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice? You have certain rights under the Kentucky and United States Constitution. Before I can accept the plea, I need to know that you understand those rights. You have a right not to testify against yourself. No one can make you say anything. You have a right to speedy trial by jury, the right to be represented by counsel at your jury trial, the right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses called to testify against you, the right to produce evidence, the right to call witnesses in your favor, the right to appeal this matter to higher court if you lose, the right to require the Commonwealth to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty of charges against you. You understand that by entering a guilty plea today, you give up all those rights. I may consider the Commonwealth's recommendation, but I may also apply any range of sentence provided by law. I do not have to accept any recommendation. Prior to accepting any recommendation, I will wait to pre-sentence investigation report from probation and parole. In the event that I do not accept the Commonwealth's recommendation to decide to impose a harsher sentence, you have the right to withdraw your plea of guilty and proceed to trial. What is the Commonwealth's recommendation? If you'll get behind the microphone, thank you.
In 21 CR 48, she plead guilty to trafficking and controlled substance first degree, received a sentence of 5 years. 21 CR 36, she plead guilty to trafficking and controlled substance first degree, first offense, received a sentence of 5 years. Both of those indictments were currently for a total of 5 years. She will forfeit all money, her right $1,381 Commonwealth. She will serve 120 days home incarceration, the balance supervised 5 years. Receive credit for time served, pay court costs of discretion of court. The basis of the plea is that her father was co-defendant. He recently passed away. He was probably the principal in this. And I hope she just could be right.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason? You know your constitutional rights that I previously read to you. Are you waiving those rights and allowing me to impose a sentence? You understand that a plea of guilty in this, and this is a felony plea, is that right, Mr. Stockton?
Yes.
Plea of guilty in this charge, if you have any future convictions for felonies, that the range of sentence could be increased. You understand that? Is that your signature on the document? I accept the agreement order pre-sentence investigation report be done by probation and parole and schedule sentencing on December the 13th. Okay?
Your Honor, we want to go in for home incarceration or what they find sentence.
Well, here's the thing about it. If she starts it now, the time runs. If she waits later, she'll be under control of court here, and then it doesn't count. This time period doesn't count, does it? Mr.
If she starts her home incarceration now.
Yeah, but if she's just out on bond, the time she's out on bond won't count. So, I mean, whichever way she wants to do it, appears to me that she went ahead and got the bracelet on. She could knock some of this time off and get free looser. You understand what I'm saying, young lady? Well, which one does she want to do? Okay, well, that'll be fine.
Your Honor, a couple of things. Justin Gibson is on, I believe it's two Justin Gibson. That's my client. That he's in a rehab facility, but waiting on an order.
Well, we'll get to him here. Is he on this docket?
Yeah. Third case from this.
Okay, well, we'll get to it in just a minute. Commonwealth versus Eddie Bowman.
That's the one that Mr. Carroll.
Agreed order. Commonwealth versus Bobby Lee Coldren.
She was his co-defendant, and there's other.
Agreed order. Cynthia Downham. Which one you talking about?
We took.
We took care of them, had an order on them, okay? Cynthia Downing. Cynthia Downing, 21 CR 0095. Here today for the purpose of sentencing. Commonwealth versus Cynthia Downing, 21 CR 0095. Are you Cynthia Downing?
Yes, sir.
You're here today for the purpose of sentencing. You understand that? Have you had an opportunity to look at the pre-sentence investigation report under probation and parole?
Yes, sir.
Is it substantially correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there any reason that this lady should not be sentenced today, counselor? On a plea of guilty possession of controlled substance of first degree, 2 counts, defendant shall receive a sentence of 2.5 years on each count to run consecutively with a total of 5 years, probated for 5 years. The defendant shall receive credit for time served, shall be referred to social commission to follow any other recommendations. What are the court costs? $155, and I'll allow you to pay it $30 a month. The first payment will be in 30 days from today, okay? Okay, thank you very much. Brianna Elmore. Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Rihanna Elmore, 21 CR 00030. Miss Elmore, what's your year of birth? And what are the last 4 digits of your social security number? Okay.
Your Honor, she is co-defendant of the Gibson Cross referencing and also that's the range. And this example has expression here.
Yeah, I've read the briefs last night. This was one where the truck was parked.
We just got Mr. Cross free. Just recently.
This is one I read last night. I think it was Mr. Wilkerson's brief. That's what that's what I told Lindsay Bell one time when I said, Lindsay, this is the best thing I've ever seen you write. He said, Sam did it. I thought he went back in there somewhere. Just yell his name. Don't open the door without knocking. Well, this, I read the brief and, you know, the issue comes down to me is if you get a call of a suspicious vehicle, especially a truck in an area that trucks aren't usually there, and there has been an appearance of the truck. Here you are, Mr. Cross. I was addressing your, that's the best brief I ever saw you write. You smell me.
Over my name, so I guess
That's kind of an admission right there. I was telling him about the time Lindsay Bell sent me a great brief, and I commended him on it, and he said Sam wrote it. So in any event, where is your client? Is he here?
He's in the rehab facility.
Wesley Raines.
See if we get Leslie Raines. Justin Gibson is that your client? Mr. Gibson, will you turn your camera on?
Yes, sir.
You're presently, you have a right to remain silent and presently at a rehab facility somewhere, is that right?
Yes, sir.
I have, let's get the other defendant in here. Okay, would you identify yourself, sir, for the record? Okay. Now, who was allegedly driving the truck? Was it Mr. Gibson was driving the truck? Don't say anything, Mr. Gibson, okay? Last time I tried to hush somebody so they wouldn't incriminate themselves, they got 6 months. So no good deed goes unpunished, I guess, you know. I've read the briefs in this case, and it's an interesting proposition. And I think everybody pretty much agrees on the facts of the thing. There was a truck that was driven that was parked over in a residential area, evidently, that had been parked there for quite on and off infrequently in some strange activity or some unusual activity. So the trooper goes over there, the truck is gone, but he gets the same person that complained that told him where the truck was. And he goes out to the gas station out there on 90. And the truck is there. He pulls up and circles the truck, and the truck starts to leave on him, and he turns the lights on. Then Mr. Gibson gets out of the truck, according to the testimony, and approaches him, and the officer says, what's going on? Do you have anything on you? I'm your good friend, and you need to tell me whatever. And at that juncture, after being cajoled a little bit, he makes an admission, and the trooper goes, or the officer goes up and enters into the edge of the vehicle and says, is anybody in here got anything, that sort of thing. And then there's an admission. Now, it's a borderline case as to whether or not he had articulable suspicion to pull the vehicle over. After he gets there, it appears to me that once the officer, the fellow offers up what he has on him, that he had an articulable suspicion to make, to go into the vehicle and ask what was going on in there and whoever else was there. So it would appear to me that I'm going to uphold the search. I'll make some written findings on that, and it appears to me that it might be a good case to take up. As far as a interlocutory source.
It's no good case to take up to the Kentucky Court of Appeals right now, and I say that.
Well, I don't believe I would be saying that on the record. I'm going to have to remind you, just like I did the guy that was in jail a while ago. So, I mean, is there any plea offers out there that they could?
Mr. Raines, All right. December 2nd, 16th date on those cases, we might be able to resolve.
Yeah.
Well, the second, third. That's fine if you want to. Mr. Cross's client has a traffic in charge in the tire stand. It's a lot more serious in this case. And I'm going to piggyback and see what Mr. Wright does.
Who's representing him in that case up there?
George Burke. I think he had allegedly 5 or 6 grams of meth over there. So it's a lot more serious question.
Well, let's take his case out, Mr. Gibson's case out to January 13th too. So we'll reschedule all these cases for January 13th. And your negotiation day was what? December the what?
22nd for the January day.
Okay.
Let's just do them on the second. Let's do December.
December the 2nd will be negotiation day for you, Mr. Gibson, and then you want to do December 13th then on all of them? December the 2nd negotiation and January 13th for the next trial date. Okay, Mr. Gibson, thank you.
Thank you.
Was in the Wayne County Jail.
April Payton. She's back there. She's the one they brought back from Wayne County. Miss Payton, the machine was torn up over there at Wayne County. I hope you didn't mind riding down here on this beautiful fall day. Okay, you take your up over your nose there, please. Thank you very much. Commonwealth of Kentucky versus April Payton, 21 CR 00103. You are April Payton. Your year of birth 1987. Last four digits, your social security number 1870. Yeah, I understand that you have a plea. Yes, I'm on the bench. What's going on? Yeah, I got two for it. I got two for you. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm still looking. Okay, I'll call you back. Sorry. I understand that you wish to enter a plea. Is that correct? Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Is this plea freely and voluntarily given? Are you the same person named in indictment 21 CR 103 rather? Is your judgment impaired today in any way? Have you discussed these charges with your attorney? Are you satisfied with his advice? Have you reviewed the evidence and gone all the information that was provided to you in the pretrial discovery in this case? You understand that you do not have to enter a guilty plea today. Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice? You have certain rights under the Kentucky United States Constitution. Before I can accept a plea, I need to know that you understand those rights. You have a right not to testify against yourself. No one can make you say anything. You have the right to a speedy trial, the right to be represented by counsel at your jury trial, the right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses called to testify against you, the right to produce evidence, the right to call witnesses in your favor, the right to appeal this matter to a higher court if you lose, the right to require this the Commonwealth to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty of charges against you. You understand that by entering a guilty plea today, you give up all those rights. Now, I may consider the Commonwealth's recommendation, but I may apply any range of sentence provided by law. I do not have to accept the recommendation. Prior to accepting the recommendation, I'll wait to pre-sentence investigation for it to be done by probation and parole. In the event that I do not accept the Commonwealth's recommendation, decide to impose a harsher sentence, you have the right to withdraw and plead guilty and proceed to trial. What is, Mr. Stockton, you step behind the microphone, y'all move to the left. What is the Commonwealth's recommendation? Ma'am, listen to this very closely, okay?
In the second first degree on since 5 years. Upon pleading guilty to trafficking and controlled substance first degree, and she received sentence of 5 years. They'll run concurrently for a total of 5 years. She'll serve 117 days in jail with bound probation for 5 years. She'll be released from final sentencing. She'll pay court costs expressed in court and obtain the gainful employment when she's released. Once final sentence is over with, all contraband in this case will be destroyed. Your Honor, one other thing, since her co-defendant, Joseph, was supposed to plead today at the same time, but he wouldn't transfer. He was going to take 10 years to serve. I'd ask that this lady not be sentenced until Mr. Payton enters his plea. I want his plea here first. So,
Is that, was there an agreement that she truthfully testified?
What I don't want to happen is she's final sentence next month. If he don't enter his plea, then he wants a trial date and she takes the blame for all this. Because there's heroin involved and everything else. And it's a pretty serious case.
Okay, I'll agree to that. You understand what's going on. In other words, you're not going to be able to shield, you know what I'm saying? Okay. You understand after entering a guilty plea, that this could be used against you in future cases under persistent felony offender law. Now, you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason. And knowing these, knowing your constitutional rights is it, that I've read to you, is it still your desire to enter a guilty plea? Let me set the sentence. I'll accept the agreement subject to review of pre-sentence investigation for in the plea we talked about earlier. You come back here on December the 13th for sentencing. Okay. Yeah. Did you get to eat lunch before you left over there? Okay, I didn't want you to eat lunch. Okay. And Joseph Payton, it was continued because equipment over at the Wayne County Jail is torn up. He's scheduled to enter plea. His co-defendant just did. Jonathan Ray. He was in Wayne County and case was continued. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go back to Shannon Mercer.
Mercer is court may or may not call one with skin condition is contagious. He's still suffering from that. He is outside. I didn't know how the court wanted.
Well, usually you want the bailiffs to handle him. That's what happened last time.
Well, and the situation, Your Honor, I suppose is he's supposed to go in and do some days in jail. If he's not in his condition, I've heard through the grapevine of no HIPAA violation if he doesn't have to. Well, but I think rather than Mr. Krause getting up here and testifying, he put his doctor on the line and we can have some medical. Well, I talked to Shannon for this week and I just tried.
Well, wait a second. Is he here?
Yes.
Bring him in.
Outside.
Well, he's not supposed to be outside.
Well,
You have his phone number?
yes.
Okay, call him, tell him come up here. I'm not going to run the bailiffs everywhere. Now, this is just a sentencing, isn't it?
He's a DUI forward. He has to go.
Well, I understand, but, you know, I think I'm going to sentence him and then I'll let the jail determine what they want to do to him. This is a day for court TV today, so.
Don't you? Yes, when I thought about it, I was prepared of everything, points up everything.
Checked on the baby, that issue.
I got my hotspot on and she's on her device. Her basically just quarantined, so they're playing online games.
Matter not on the docket for some. There's a matter that was, it's not on the docket today, but Mr. Nick Booher was given today to be here when he was released from custody. Since he's not on, do we just?
Well, you want to get Mr. Stockton in there.
Nick Booher, I told him he wasn't on, and I know they said he was in.
What's the deal with Nick Bull?
He was in custody in Tennessee for a long time, then he finally got released. And they, when he bonded out, they gave him today, but it didn't get on the docket. That way we can do January, because if you remember, his co-defendants lived in Missouri now, the young lady, and she drove in. So they give her time to be there.
Just enter an agreed order for January 13th day.
You're right. Yeah. remember something.
Selectively. Always. Did you get him on the phone, Mr. Cross?
I would suspect he's on the way up, Your Honor.
Did you get him on the
He
phone?
said he's on the way.
Okay.
No, right outside.
What's cooking back there? Leave the lady up here down there. Yeah. Did she work for them on still? All right. So they had full-time help in there. See, when she was up there.
She couldn't walk for the last 14 years. Their sports center.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she had it right even before they didn't give up. She made a comment one time and I wrote and she wanted to pay.
Commonwealth versus Shannon Gale Mercer. Are you Shannon Gale Mercer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mercer, you're here today for sentencing. Have you had an opportunity to look at the pre-sentence investigation report under probation parole?
I don't work.
We'll let him go back there in the attorney-client room and read that. Go, Mr. Cross. Ida Mae Myers. Cromwell versus Ida Mae Myers, 18 CR 0091. You, Ida Mae Myers. You're on a probation revocation hearing. Will you stand to your left there a little bit? Mr. Payne, you want to take a seat there? Will you move over a little bit and let Mr. Stockton have some space there?
Yeah.
You want to pass it over? We can put her under oath and let her testify. She did. She didn't. She indicted for perjury. Okay, so you want to put it on for review for February the 11th? What, how much you supposed to be paying? 100 a month. So you come back, you don't have to come back on February 11th if you're caught up. Okay, and if you're not, you'll be here on the 11th, okay? Billy Knox Perry. Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Billy Knox Perrigan, 21 CR 0078. You Billy Knox Perrigan. You're here today for sentencing. You understand that? Okay, have you had an opportunity to look at the pre-sentence investigation report done with probation parole? Is it substantially correct? Is there any reason why this gentleman should not be sentenced today, counselor? On plea of guilty possession of controlled substance first degree, the defendant shall receive 3 years, probated for 5 years on plea of operating a motor vehicle with alcohol concentration 0.08 under the influence. First offense aggravating, and defendant should pay $300 court costs, fine, and court costs of how much?
It'd be a total of $960.
$960 and 4 days in jail. Does he have his 4 days yet? Okay. And you realized when you pled guilty that these DUIs could be used against you in the future if you have another DUI. You understood that, correct? Okay. You should see jail credit time for the 4 days. So the total is $960. You need some time to pay that. Okay, I'll let you pay it at the amount of $60 a month, starting 30 days from today. You think you can pay it that way? Okay. Do you have your driver's license with you? Okay, you need to turn them over. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? And you absolutely don't need to be driving without those, because you get your driver's, Department of Transportation will handle it from here on out. But you get it's the suspension will run a lot faster if you don't have something else happen to you. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, you'll need to meet with the probation and parole officer right over there. Okay, I'm bringing right back up here. Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Shannon Gail Mercer. Mr. Mercer, we identified you previously in 20 CR 0034. Have you had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report and the probation trial? Is it substantially correct? Okay. Upon a plea of guilty to operating a motor vehicle with alcohol concentration of 0.08 or above, while under the influence of alcohol or other substance, the defendant shall receive sentence of 5 years, probated 5 years, serve 120 days with the balance, probated for 5 years, supervised, defendant shall receive credit for jail time served up to this point. What's the court cost in this case? Yep.
What's the fine? Court cost $760.
760 total. And you'll need some time to pay that, I would say, correct? So when you get out of jail, 30 days after you get out of jail, you shall start paying $50 a month. Okay. So how many of the days does he have in?
He has 60 days credit for DSI. He has an additional 64.
You're in the custody of the jailer. Well, let me finish here. You're in the custody of the jailer, and that court cost fine stuff doesn't start for 30 days after you get out. Okay, now you got something to say?
Your Honor, can you sever from a condition?
Well, he'll need to file a doc. We've had the discussion last time and this time. If he has any kind of condition he needs to report it to the jail when they get down there, and he needs to document the jail. And it's their decision as to what to do with it. Okay. Okay, so I mean, it's that, well, he doesn't need to tell them what he's got. He needs to show them medical reports and justification, and they'll make the decision. Or if they've got a problem, they'll contact me. Okay. You go into jail, and when you go down there, you inform them when you go in what you say, and you have medical records for them. If they'll probably want somebody to examine you too. And, you know, if they do, they'll contact me and we'll see what happens from that. Okay. Okay. Commonwealth versus Melissa Purdue.
I don't think she's before the court, Your Honor.
Okay. Back there. You stay with it. Okay. Okay, that's fine, as long as both, hey, you know what I'm saying, no, nobody go back there by themselves. He went back there by himself, so. Can I have a bailiff? Bailiff? Go back there with him. Go back there with him. Melissa Purdue, you're gonna put her NCIC. Jesse Phillips. There really isn't any need for that door to be open there. Commonwealth versus Jesse Phillips, 21 CR 0017. Are you Jesse Phillips? Your year of birth is 1987. What are the last four digits of your social security number? Okay. You're here today for a pretrial conference. What you got going on here?
I came to this case somewhat late on a conflict and I'm speaking to Philip about the ethics of all.
December the 2nd for negotiations and December 13th for your next trial date. Okay, now your attorney, you need to meet with your attorney and consult with her before December 2nd, so you'll be familiar with the evidence she has to present you, okay? Terry Phillips. Terry Phillips. Commonwealth versus Terry Phillips Jr., 21 CR 006. Are you Terry Phillips Jr.? Your day for pretrial conference. What does the Commonwealth have to say?
I don't think there's going to be an agreement on this case, Your Honor. I think Mr. Cross is trying to collect money on the United States person. We'll have to be set for trial probably sometime.
Now I have there's a civil motion on this today, isn't it?
Same characters, not involving the victim in this case, involving the person who lives with it. But I've got another case that Mr. Cross has got, and I want to say.
Okay, wait a second. Y'all move over here to the left and let Mr. Stockton move over to the left, sir. Thank you.
I don't think this case will ever settle when Mr. Phillips can be the victim of money in this case. So, but I've got an older case that's got multiple victims, Jimmy Simmons, Mr. Cross represents. I'd like to check the trial date on that case. Mr. Phillips. Phillips office opportunity today. And response to Mr. Stockton about this case.
You move behind the microphone, please.
We basically had an agreement, except that Mr. Phillips is unable to comply with what Mr. Stockton was very fair proposal was because Mr. Phillips doesn't have the money to pay restitution. That's why we have the rabid livestock lawsuit. And
Well, here's, here's the thing. You're always gonna have that situation. If you have a restitution situation.
And all the way around, it's not offered, if you want to do a felony, you pay less money. You know, it's a felony money now, it's a federal law. So what he's doing is, but not doing that, he's putting me in a box. I'm gonna have to try this case. I'm not gonna get to it. And we've got fans, but, you know, we're trying to. I'm just trying to do one of your cases at a time.
Well, I'll set this for review on December 13th.
Thank you.
Troy Pryor. Troy Pryor, 21 CR 0059. Are you Troy Pryor? You're here today for pretrial conference. A motion has been tendered, sir, that says you wish to enter a plea today. Is that correct? A motion has been entered. Do you have a hearing problem? Okay. A motion has been tendered that says you wish to enter a guilty plea today. Is that correct? Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Is this plea freely and voluntarily given? Are you the same person named in indictment 21 CR 0059? Have you had plenty of time to look at all the information concerning your case? You feel like you're fully informed? Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation? You do not have to plead guilty here today. You have certain constitutional rights that I need to know that you understand. You have the right not to testify against yourself, and no one can make you say anything. You have a right to speed trial by jury, right to be represented by counsel at jury trial, right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses called to testify against you, right to produce evidence, right to call witnesses in your favor, right to appeal this matter to higher court if you lose, and right to require the Commonwealth prove on a reasonable doubt that you're guilty of charges against you. That you understand by entering a guilty plea today, you give up all those rights. I may consider the Commonwealth's recommendation, but I may also apply any range of sentence provided by law. I do not have to accept any recommendation. Prior to any accepting any recommendation, I will wait the pre-sentence investigation report from probation and parole. In the event that I do not accept the recommendation, decide to give you harsher punishment, you have the right to withdraw your penalty. Now, if y'all will step to the left there. Mr. Stockton, what's your recommendation?
I'm tracking the process for 3 years, so 60 days home incarceration, now probation 5 years, probation will be supervised, and home incarceration will start within 7 days.
Is that your understanding, sir? You'll move back over here. Is that your understanding? Okay. This is a felony plea? Okay, you understand that by pleading guilty of felony, if you have any other felonies that you are convicted of in the future, that your sentence can be enhanced, you get more time for a subsequent, you understand that? So you are pleading guilty of your own free will because you are guilty, is that right? Are you waiving your constitutional rights and allow me to set the penalty within the range provided by law? Is that your signature? Okay, I'll accept the plea agreement. Let's go ahead. Plea agreement and schedule your sentencing for December the 13th. Okay. Now, what about he's going to have some ankle bracelet time? And do you want him to get that out of the way between now and then? Or? So if you don't do it within 7 days, you'll be in violation. It's not a good way to start off the thing to be in violation. You know what I mean? You need to meet with probation and parole officer right over there just for a second. Carson. Troy Pryor. Troy Pryor. Okay, Troy, I had him on another page. I guess he had two pages. Chad Scott. Robbie Scott. Commonwealth of Kentucky, but this is Chad 21-068 69. What do you got on this, Mr. Stockton?
Well, Your Honor, we met, today, spoke again this morning. We're really close to the agreement, but unfortunately, it's not there. At this point in time,
Not ready to enter a plea. I mean, I know, but I mean, is there any, well, I'm not asking for particularities. That was a commentary. Okay, you know, and so what I'm saying, well, you think additional negotiation will do you any good, or you believe we're down to the point where we need to sit?
I don't think it hurts to the property. I will say that there are some witnesses and investigations on our end.
We'll have you back here for a pre-trial on December 13th, because we've got so many cases we're going to set a trial for now. We need to do, when I set these trials, they're going to stick. So I'll be back here on December the 13th on the same bond. This might be a case that we need to try quickly, you know. Commonwealth versus Jimmy.
Other public things will be here on 13th.
That'd be good. Jimmy Simmons.
I would ask this either be like in March, right? There's 4 victims in this case. And they're everywhere from Buffalo to South Carolina.
Well, tell me why do we need a new trial?
Because basically what happened, Mr. Simmons for years, I don't know how many times he's been indicted. He's in the car restoration business. And I've been indicted before, he's made restitution, he fixes up old cars. And he gets all these people from all over the country, give him money, and they all complain that he don't fix their car, he don't deliver. Just let me finish. And I've dealt with this for 20 years. And at this point in time, there's going to be a stoppage. Either I'm going to try and I'm going to lose, or people will continue. So I don't know what's going to happen before the victims come out.
Well, it seems like that we've kind of reached a point of no return, yeah. Well, that's good. There's no reason to respond to it then if you don't disagree. Okay, on December the 13th, we'll come back here to set a trial date. Well, now that's a factual situation. It's not for me. I'll just be giving instructions as to law. Yeah. Patricia Diane Smith. Is that better there? Can you hear better now? 20 CR 003, Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Patricia Diane Smith. for a pretrial conference. What does the Commonwealth have to say? What does the Commonwealth have to say about Patricia Diane Smith? December the 13th. Well, I don't know. Okay, January the 13th. So we have to come back. Joe E. Turner. Is this last one? Huh? 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 He's here. Yes, well, this is Commonwealth versus Joe E. Turner. Mr. Stockton, what do you have on Mr. Joe? Okay. Are you Joe E. Turner? What year were you born, Mr. Turner? Last four digits of your social security number. A motion's been tendered that says you wish to enter a guilty plea today. Is that correct? Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol? Is this plea freely and voluntarily given? Are you the same person named in indictment number 20 CR 0065? Is your judgment impaired today in any way? Have you discussed these charges with your attorney and are you satisfied with his advice? Have you reviewed the evidence the Commonwealth has against you? And you believe you're fully informed? You understand that you do not have to enter a guilty plea today. You have certain rights under Kentucky and the United States Constitution. You have the right not to testify against yourself, no one can make the same thing. You have a right to speed trial by jury, the right to be represented by counsel at your jury trial, the right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses called to testify against you, the right to produce evidence, the right to call witnesses in your favor, the right to appeal this matter to higher court if you lose, and the right to require the Commonwealth to prove on a reasonable doubt that you are guilty. You understand that by entering a guilty plea today, you give up those rights. Now, I may consider the Commonwealth's recommendation. I may apply any range of sentence allowed by law. I do not have to accept any recommendation. Prior to accepting the recommendation, all the way to pre-sentence investigation report to be done by probation parole. In the event that I do not accept the Commonwealth's recommendation and decide to impose a harsher sentence, you have the right to withdraw your guilty plea and proceed to trial. If you move to your left there, sir, a little bit, okay? Mr. Stockton, what is the recommendation? Listen closely
Your
to
Honor,
this.
this is an old case. Traffic first degree, receive a sentence of 5 years, probation 5 years, supervised, get paid $400 restitution order in the clerk's office. They'll be subject to a 5% fee. You'll receive credit for time served, pay court costs, discretion of the court, and all evidence in this case will be destroyed.
What's the court cost?
$155.
So be a total of $555. $555, is that right? $400. What's the court cost of $555? Well, you need some time to pay that. Okay, you make your first payment 30 days from the day, $50 a month. Okay. Has anyone, including your attorney, threatened or coerced you or offered you anything else to enter this plea? No. Pleading guilty because you are guilty, is that right? You understand? I explained to you about the persistent felony offender law, how any future felony convictions can be enhanced, right? You understand that? I will accept the plea order pre-sentence investigation board and my probation and parole. Have you back here on December 13th for sentencing. There was no additional jail time. Is that correct? Correct. You remain free on your same bond, and you need to meet with the probation parole officer to get some information. Okay, that's your signature on the document. That's your signature on the document. Okay, can meet with him. Is there any other matter, criminal matter? As soon as we finish this motion, Chris, I'm gonna give you all the time you need. Hey, you need to contact that guy and tell him. The only reason that we were trying to stop him from talking to him, incriminate himself in a felony, he's got some kind of issue or something. Well, okay, but now you need to try to tell him that, because he's going to keep on getting deeper and deeper. Unless anybody wears a mask. Mr. Stocks, you gonna participate from back there? Okay. Yeah, turn the recorder off.
I've dealt with that Jesse Brown since the day I started. a relationship.
Was that together? It's hostile.
That's been his attitude the whole time. He's already been on for one murder.
Well, let me tell you what that changes everything.
You remember the murder at Pulaski Park, the body they found, the father and son? He was in, his dad took the right to. So.
He's back at work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
take.
think he knows that he's done, he's gonna get, he's gonna get some major time to serve. I think he knows that, and I think that's why.
Okay. Okay, you'll call your first witness. Mr. Roper, you take the stand, you pull your mask up over your nose, please, to comply with the Chief Justice order. Raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Take a seat there. Lean forward to that microphone, state your full name and what your position is.
Chief Roper, how long have you been in that position?
44 years. Well, I've been on the department 44 years, and I've at 30.
That's volunteer, or that's paid position?
It's volunteer. It gives you a little pay back, you know, before you run. Yeah, it's not going to just.
Okay. Now, I know it's part of your duty, you answer for the fire, you know, respond to calls for buildings on fire and things like that. Is that right?
Yes.
You ever get calls on people that have are burning things, may not have a permit, out of season and things like that?
Real often, yes.
Okay. Do you remember the incident that occurred on August 10th of 2020 involving a complaint up in Duval Valley?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And could you tell the court what happened when they let you home?
I'm not sure exactly what time it was, but I got a call to check out a burn. It's complaints from neighbors, said fire, burning fiberglass.
Okay.
And I really don't like going by myself, you know, going runs like that. So I called for backup, and as far as I never qualified or because an SOD, you know, because an SOD that I didn't send there and back me up. You know.
Did you call for assistance at that?
Yeah.
And who helped you go on that?
Jose.
Log on? Okay. This is coming in the courtroom right now. Okay. Now, when you went to that residence, well, let me ask you this before you went to that residence, is it legal to burn fiberglass in Kentucky?
You're not supposed to burn anything that produces the smoke and stuff that it puts out. Yeah, it's an EPA virus.
Okay. So you never left your logos one time to that call. What happened?
Well, as I was going up the valley right before we turned in, Jose got behind me, and we pretty well rolled in at the same time. And as I pulled in the driveway, I remember seeing far out, I passed the trailer. There was a trailer there on the right, and the driveway was past it was the burn that was referring to the neighbors had called in.
Okay. How far was the burn hall from the mobile home?
Probably 75 yards. So,
okay.
Close, yeah.
And when you pulled in, what did you do?
I got out and I saw somebody close to who was burning, and I saw a couple other people there. And I just walked straight towards the fire to see what really was burning.
Okay. What was burning?
And it was what they told me was foams from the swimming pool factory that had, you know, some wood in it, and it's fiberglass and all of that.
Okay, you making requests of them then?
So, yes, and they helped me, we put it out with the water and stuff we had there, we did put the fire.
Okay, and did you talk to the landowner, whoever occupied the place?
There was a lady lived in the trailer said that it was her problem. And then, I think the boyfriend was another.
Fighting trucks and vehicles, you know?
You want to use the Elmo? Chief, you need to pull your nose back. You'll move that screen over there to him a little bit.
We were looking at this lot and heard. she-
Okay, if you point over here on this picture, he can see your finger there.
That's long since the people went. Is that the mobile home right there that my people want to, just talking about? You remember looking at this earlier?
Right there, that dark one, I think.
Okay. And you said the fire was over in this field over
It
here.
was just to pass the end of the trailer.
Okay. But you said the road came up here and it forked off right into the trailer.
When there's a turn, a real sharp turn in it, and right in the turn, you go up the driveway to the trailer.
Okay. And you said I guess the fire was over here to the left or up above the trailer.
Well, it was parallel with the end of it, kind of after the end of the.
No, like that.
trailer. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I guess that's how we introduced and I don't have any more questions.
Commonwealth Exhibit number 1, would you like to inquire when Chief be excused?
A couple of questions, Judge. No objection to the introduction of that. You said that it was an EPA violation.
Yes, we did not turn it in such as they did help us put it out.
Are you aware of it being against the laws of the Commonwealth of Kentucky? Are you aware of there being any Kentucky law that forbids burning fireworks?
I'm not sure.
And you're not employed with the EPA or have any association with it? There wasn't any kind of burn ban or anything like that on at the time, to the best of your knowledge.
I can't remember. I can't remember being.
And you said who called?
I got a call from our dispatcher, did not tell me who the complaint was.
So as you sit here today, you don't know who made that call?
No, I mean,
All right.
Just one question. When you said these kind of knocks, is this something you smell from the distance, this fiberglass?
oh, yeah. But if we were being dark, as it was, you couldn't see it, but most of the time it puts out the light. Black smoke, but being dark, that wasn't the complaint. The complaint was a smell from somebody in the area that was complaining about it.
So when you got out of the vehicle, you could smell.
Oh, yes.
Nothing further.
Okay, Chief be released. You know my cousin Weldon Rowe?
Yeah.
He's my first cousin.
Oh, really?
Thank you for your service. I know, yeah, I know. You I know, yeah. Okay, you can be excused. Yeah, okay.
Thank you. I called that a lot.
Deputy, you take a stand. You raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Take a seat there, lean toward the microphone, and state your name and with whom you're employed.
My name's Jose Lagos. I'm employed by the Quincy County Sheriff Department.
Deputy Law Officer, heard Chief Roper testify. Did you go with him up to this residence on 39107, the road on Office 1021?
Yes, I did.
And you tell the court what happened when you got there.
On August on August 10th, 2020, when I arrived at Chief Roper to the residence, I noticed there was 2 male subjects on the residence burning some fire. When I approached, this employee identified Smacker Man was walking away from my vehicle and the fire chief vehicle. And when I asked the vehicle, I noticed him dropping something to the ground. Later on, we made contact with him and we explained to him while we was over there because there was some complaints about some burning. I let the chief handle the situation because he's the one that deals with the fire. I then seen what Mr. May dropped on the ground, and when I could see it on plain view, it was a little scale with a cigarette box. I then pick it up, and when I seen inside, it was some methamphetamine, what appeared to be methamphetamine on the cigarette box.
Now, how far, strike that, when you said he was near the vehicle, Mr. Roper's vehicle, when you first observed him, is that right? Or he was getting out of another vehicle?
No, he was actually outside the property burning. with his other male 10-12.
Was he up near the fire?
He was near the fire.
Okay. And where did you observe him drop the package?
Whenever we drive into the property, he seen a vehicle, seen the fire chief vehicle, and then he started walking away from the fire to a little bit to the side.
Okay, is that when he dropped the package?
That's when I observed him dropping the package.
Okay. Now, I guess you took that package into evidence.
Yes, I did.
And what did it turn out to be?
I got the, can I read this from?
Yeah, I don't know what the lab report.
The lab shows here that it shows here that the colorless crystalline solid weighing approximately 10.28 grams. Is found to contain methamphetamine, a controlled substance.
Okay. Now, you didn't know exactly what it was on the scene. You thought it was methamphetamine, didn't you?
Yes.
Did you place Mr. May under arrest or anything?
Yes, I placed him under arrest and I read his arms.
Okay. Did he make any statements?
Not at the moment. At that moment, he mentioned that it wasn't him. But on the way back to, on the way to jail, he told me that he was at the lake and he found it somewhere. And then he should throw it away whenever he had a chance to throw it away.
Okay. Now, was it dark at the time?
It was dark, but it was fine.
So you could see him?
I could see it.
Okay. And you never had any dealings with Mr. May before?
Never had one prior past.
And you were just up there to assist Mr. Roper, make sure that there wasn't any trouble?
Yes, that's all it was.
Okay, nothing further.
Where
Would you like to inquire?
yes, sir. Where was you stated that he dropped this cigarette box and scales onto the ground, correct?
Yes.
How close was that to the fire?
Couple feet.
He was a couple of feet from the
Yes,
fire.
I mean, he wasn't that far away from the fire, but I mean, he was like a few feet. I couldn't really say exactly the distance. But I mean, it's walkable distance from the fire to where he was at.
And how far was that from the trailer?
Pretty far away from the trailer.
How far? Yeah.
Where the fire was at and where he was at, the trailer was approximately, say, maybe 100 feet, yeah.
100 or 200 feet.
It's pretty.
And was that part of the yard of the trailer?
I mean, the trailer's there and you got boats outside, so I mean, I wouldn't want to tell you.
Was it mowed?
What?
Was it mowed?
Sorry?
Was the grass mowed?
It was short. It was short.
Okay. You didn't have a search warrant for any conduct that night?
No, sir. No.
And you arrived at 11 p.m., which is well after dusk.
Yes.
Did you have a flashlight?
Yes, I mean,
Okay. Did you have it activated?
I did, yes.
Okay. Now you said after he dropped the scales and the cigarette box on the ground, how soon after that did you go and investigate that?
As soon as he was, as soon as we went in for ourselves and this chief Roper was talking to him, I want to investigate right now.
Now, when you say a cigarette box, you mean like a cart or like a little tiny box?
Yeah, carton.
Okay.
I don't know if it's marble box, but those marble boxes.
The one that holds 10 packs?
Yes.
Okay. And that was laying on the ground?
Yes.
So did you pick it up and look inside of it?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you find inside of it when you picked it up?
It was methamphetamine. It had like aluminum wrap inside the little packages that is like wrapped around with a neck inside.
You couldn't see what was inside of it when it was laying on the ground, could you?
No, but it was a scale.
But you couldn't see anything inside the cigarette box as it was laying on the ground?
No.
And you would agree with me that picking up that cigarette box had nothing to do with being there on the fire call, correct?
It was suspicious to me. I
whenever he was dropped there.
It wasn't within the scope while you were there.
It's the same.
Was anything related to a cigarette box within your scope of investigation?
No.
Do you often go out on these burn violations?
No.
Are you aware of any Kentucky law forbidding the burning of fireplace?
No.
Okay. So you were not aware of any criminal activity being present at this house that night?
I just know that the information that this worker gave me that apparently there was some it was I don't recall exactly, but there was supposed to be some case between the house.
But you weren't aware of any criminal activity at that house?
No.
Okay. And you didn't cite him for any crimes relating to burning? Do you know who called in the tip to 911? As the chief testified as a neighbor, but as we said here today, you don't know who that was.
Chief, not probably about the those and those.
Mr. May never gave you consent to search anything at that residence?
No.
You know if he lived at that residence?
Later on, whenever we spoke to the owner of the property, which is his girlfriend, I believe, she said he was staying over
Okay. Did you ever ask him for consent?
No.
And you stated you read his Miranda rights. When did you read those Miranda rights?
When they were placing on the arrest.
Before he was ever in the car.
Before he was in the car. So.
Did you have the flashlight shining on him when he dropped the cigarette box and scale?
No, I could see him dropping it. It was the fire was pretty bright.
From the fire.
From the fire.
I think that's all the question.
To be redirect. Thank you, officer. You may be excused. Okay, would you like to make your argument?
Judge, I'd like an opportunity to brief.
Okay, you want 30 days?
30 days, probably.
30 days and 15 to respond? Or you want 30 to respond? Consider 30 and 15. Okay, thank y'all very much. Off the record. Congratulations, I saw on Facebook you got a big event.
Thank you. I don't
I
know.
guess your dad's excited, isn't
He's excited, yeah, I guess.
he? Yeah.